Charity's going through our pantry and finding a few things to get rid of. We found some bug-eaten stuff that the chickens are getting. Oh, we do have honey, just a little bit.
Rock hard.
Stuff that's on the top, we can probably fit that in there soon. These are Charity's oddball items. Almond paste, almond filling, and water chestnuts.
We are finished. But up there, looks like it's pretty empty.
Okay, there's no
There.
food.
I can actually see a dent.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. Let's check the bottom.
I filled it up with some more food that wasn't originally in here too.
Looks pretty good.
Welcome to our second week of our 30 days of no grocery shopping, and let's see how we did this week.
Was the second week easier or harder than the first week?
I think it was just about the same. There were some days that it went really well, and there were other days that just, you know, they really bombed. But so far we haven't had to go out and buy anything. I haven't lost my mind yet, and we're halfway through the challenge, so that's a good sign. I'm still sane. I'm pulling out all the stops for dinner because Art ate my dinner for lunch because we didn't have anything for lunch and the bank took too long. So I'm going to plan B because normally I would say go to Subway or something like that for some sandwiches. I have nothing and I've got to cook and it's almost 6 o'clock. It's not going too bad. These little chicken breasts cooked in 3 minutes of high pressure and 10 minutes of sitting on the stove, which was amazing, which really helped make this dish come together really, really quickly.
One thing that we were wondering about was, what do you do if people want to give you food? Because a lot of people, they just give us food. They have leftovers, whatever. So we decided if it's totally unsolicited, we don't mention it or anything, and they want to give us food, we're not going to be rude and say, no, you aren't going to take it. So we got some, some donuts, and then a friend gave us some nice produce from a CSA. And that was really good. We had the beets a few days ago. The beets are actually pretty good. When I was a kid, I hated beets, but now I actually enjoy them. And there's someone at the table who loves beets.
It isn't me.
I'll give you a hint.
It's her.
So the person with the red tongue.
Says, what is this?
A friend of ours made some lasagna, and they had some leftovers, and they gave them to us. Are there any foods you think we're going to run out of?
Our mixed vegetables, our frozen mixed vegetables are starting to get a little low, but that's not really a huge problem because I have all my canned green beans that I can always fall back onto. I also have a lot of Swiss chard and kale in my garden that I could dig out. It just wouldn't, it's not a hot hit for the dinner table, but it's definitely no danger of starving. The other thing I may run out of is cheese because we go through a lot of cheese in this family, and I have been milking the last little bit of mozzarella cheese, and that has made me have to become very creative for our lunches. Now yesterday, Charity thawed out some sausage links, hot sausage links, and she started boiling some water for some macaroni, and I finished it up with a little bit of cream cheese and Parmesan cheese, so I made it like an Alfredo sauce, and that came out really good. So I'm being creative with my cheeses, using different cheeses. Like I have a big, I probably have 4 or 5 pounds of Parmesan cheese. So that's my biggest concern.
I said we have 29 squashes sitting there, just starting to go bad. They're not going bad yet, but they will if we leave them too long. So let's throw some squash in there. So we cut up 3 of them and tossed them in. And it was really good. No kids complained about squash. My kids usually don't complain much about squash or anything else. They just ate it down like it was really good. And it was really good.
Sausage, pasta, yellow squash, and a cream sauce. Would you like more? Yes?
Mary likes it.
Very good.
What do you say?
Thank you.
Lydia finished hers. Do you want some more too?
I think the biggest thing with this challenge has been just the fact that you have to take the time to prepare the food. And there's been a handful of times when we went on a hike on Monday when the food, there was just this, I would have just liked to have said to Art, can you just go out to Subway and pick up some sandwiches for dinner tonight? And with this challenge, we're like, no, we have to cook something. So it's been more challenging, but it just proves that you can do it if you're really creative and determined not to go out.
We're going to go on a hike today. We're getting ready by making some lunch for the trail. We're going to have bologna sandwiches, popcorn, and apples.
Nice.
We're going to use the loaf of bread that I made on Saturday. We're not going to use our regular popcorn because we actually have some popcorn that we've been trying to get rid of for a while. Here, Mary.
Put it on there.
We're also taking the opportunity to use up some juices that have been sitting around for a while.
Since we went for a hike with the kids today, I didn't have time to cook. So we're just doing leftovers today, and it's a little embarrassing. So I'm not going to show you what we're eating.
What items have we used up that have been in our pantry for too long?
Well, you used that little bottle. There was a little bottle of molasses, and it had about that much. And when Art was doing his bread making experiment, he used that up for me. What else did I use up?
We used up some drink boxes. We don't go through a lot of juice,
okay,
but
right.
we had a big thing of drink boxes, and we drank those up, and also Jell-O. Charity made some Jell-O. We don't use a lot of Jell-O either, but we used one up.
I have lots of cake mixes and things like that, but I don't feel like we've been starving enough to have to dig them out.
We don't drink a lot of juice, but we found a Capri Sun that had been kicking around too long, so we're going to have that for lunch.
Charity was cleaning out the pantry yesterday. She found a box of Jell-O, and she asked today if she could make it, so that's why we're having Jell-O. That's not a normal staple for our meals, but it is a once-in-a-while treat, and that's what we're having tonight.
And it was 2 years expired.
Yes, but it was still good. We haven't starved. I don't know if by the end of this we'll be, scrounging around, but there's certainly, our meals have been pretty normal. I'll show you right now some of the videos of some of the food we've cooked this past week. I also made some crock pot pinto beans. This is my chicken casserole that I made out of most of it in the pressure cooker. Fresh pears, fresh beets, fresh carrots, and homemade bread that Art made for us this afternoon. Lunch is leftovers from last night's dinner and lunch, along with some of the fresh applesauce that Charity and Peter and I made.
For dinner, we're having potato and hamburger hash, and some carrots, mixed veggies, apples, and then the bread.
Dinner consists of some wonderful homemade lasagna that Charity made for us, some mixed vegetables, some leftover beets, homemade bread that Art made, and then Art also made some hummus to go with our carrot sticks.
Last week I told you that I was going to start learning how to make bread. Well, I did, with mixed success. It was edible.
It wasn't too bad. We had, the first time when you had my help, it came out really good. The second time, he tried to do it mostly without my help, and it was good up until the rising point, and he put it in the oven, and then he left for work. And he came home a little too late, and it did the whole waterfall effect over the pan and dribbled on. So that kind of was a problem, and he forgot to grease the pan. And
so it's stuck.
It's stuck.
And then the lid, the top lid came off by itself. That I made. I put a serving spoon with the bread.
Have you learned anything from it?
Yes, I learned how to cook bread.
So do you think you'll keep doing it, or is it a one-time thing? And, it's too much work.
No, I think I'm going to do it all the time now.
Oh no, someone else in my kitchen.
But the only thing is I only know how to make one loaf, one type of bread. So maybe I'll have to expand into other types of bread.
Well, the basic skills, if you learn your basic skills, that applies almost across the board to basic yeast bread. So you've already laid the
Foundation.
Yes, you've already laid the foundation for how to make bread. Now you're just going to start switching up the ingredients and learning from there. It's not that hard.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm missing in my cooking ability is a chef's hat.
What about an apron?
I could do that, but it's good to have a little bit of flour dust on your shirt.
No, you should protect your clothing.
Well, I thought you wanted people to know you were cooking.
I want to give a big shout out to Marjolaine M. and Trisha Barrett, who have been working along with us in this challenge and for tackling some of the freezers and the pantries that are being a challenge for them. So keep up the good work. And for anyone else who wants to join us, please leave a comment. Let us know that you're doing this along with us. And if you want, send us some pictures and show us some of your interesting creations that you've made for some of your meals.
Here's our pantry. It's almost as full now as last week. I think we have neatened it up a little bit though. Looks a lot better. It's not as chocked full. This is our basement freezer. It's down a little bit, but not too much. The other freezer. And the refrigerator. Outside on the picnic table, we have a whole bunch of spaghetti squashes and pumpkins that we need to deal with. I almost think we might have more now than we had at the beginning of the week. We still have plenty of squash and zucchini too.
Stay tuned for our video next week. We publish these every Thursday. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to our Grocery Fast Challenge, please subscribe to our channel, and you can also see our other videos in this series in the playlist on the side here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we'll see you next week for our third week of the Grocery Challenge. Will we make it? We're getting close.
We'll make it.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.